Hi, I'm Arlecier West, and welcome to King County at your service. Preserving cherished historical places in King County is really important. That's why every year the county awards the John D. Spellman Preservation Awards. These are inspiring projects. You may remember the old post office in Auburn. Well, the city of Auburn is being recognized for transforming the historic building into a plush arts and culture center.
Pretty much everyone that walks in this door for the first time is so excited, just blown away by the transformation of the space. We've had a lot of success with arts classes with all ages. Our first exhibition here has had a lot of community engagement. I love seeing the original photos of almost like a dirt road outside and nothing around it, and just trying to picture what downtown Auburn looked like when this building was first sited here.
In 1938, 2,500 people came to the opening. Considering it was a town of 4,000 total people in population, that's a pretty impressive turnout. In the 30s, Auburn was still primarily an agricultural center. This would have been somewhere very fancy to come to. Brass-fronted P.O. boxes, dark wood, marble. When you are kicking the mud off of your boots from the fields, and then being able to step into a building like this was really elevating. It really made people feel that Auburn was a city on the grow, a city that was moving up.
We decided to keep the post office vault intact, make it into its own little mini gallery space, and also kind of almost like a little time capsule. People come in who said, oh gosh, I used to go there as a little girl when it was a post office, and oh, I used to go and get my shots there in that building when it was King County Public Health. People have so many stories and connections in all these different ways to what this building has been for them and what it can and will become now in this new version.
It's about having places that remain a part of people's lives. We were a working class town, are largely a working class town, and it's just really lovely to see those things that everyday people valued and experienced being uplifted.
Want to learn more about agriculture? Well, now there's a whole host of ag activities at the old Tollgate Farm in North Bend. The Side View Parks District transformed the historic farm into an ag hub.
Welcome to the farm today. My name is Farmer Lulu, and today we're going to meet the animals.
This is the perfect place to build community, to meet your neighbor, to learn, to educate, to have fun.
There you go.
This is Tollgate Farm Park, city-owned park and managed by Sideview Metro Parks. This is a community treasure for sure. We have farmers operating on site.
We raise pastured pork and chicken. We do lots of activities for kids and adults, offering opportunities for people to interact with animals, learn about agriculture. The sheep produce a beautiful wool. Shetland wool is highly prized by fiber artists.
This portion of the Snoqualmie Valley has a tremendous amount of history.
Tollgate Farm has been known as a dairy farm, but long before it was a dairy farm, the Snoqualmie tribe used traditional techniques to grow a plethora of food.
Since the beginning of time, this has been an area where the residents have come to recreate, to gather food. We've protected it so that it'll be that place forever going forward. And we've also completed the restoration of a 1905 farmhouse.
Here in East King County, agriculture is a big part of our history.
I was in the cattle business. I would have been 34 when I started, and I was 86 years old when I quit. And enjoyed every year over there and all that time. For a lot of people, it was kind of interesting to go by and look and see the cattle. And in fact, the city called me and said, well, when are the cattle going to be out? You know, the people are calling here.
The next generation of kids has fewer and fewer opportunities to interact with agricultural spaces. It's essential, really. We need this.
It has always been a special place. It'll continue to be a special place, and we've only just started.
Remember going to an old hardware store where the owner always knew just what you wanted? Check out Carmichael's Hardware and Variety Store in Snoqualmie.
Wendy's really good at plumbing.
I do like plumbing a lot, and Brian's really good at electricity, so we're a really good pair together. Hi there, let us know if we can help.
We're at Carmichael's Hardware Store in Snoqualmie, and
He's not the talker.
No.
That's why he married me.
No.
Carmichael's has been an institution in Snoqualmie for over 100 years.
This store has a history.
I think it was originally built in 1902 and burnt down 3 or 4 years later and rebuilt, I think, in 1909. It was a general merchandise and grocery. And
It's Wendy and Brian's hardware store now.
Hi there, let us know if we can help you find something.
Businesses that have such long lives in the community help build that community atmosphere.
Okay, thank you. We've gotten to know the people in the community very well. We've become attached to a lot of the people here.
Our favorite thing to say is, we're here because you're here. And the building's here because you're here, right? And I mean, how does preservation happen? You can't do it without the rest of the community. We have fun, festive, functional, sometimes all at once. My favorite thing for people to say when they leave is, I just came for a plunger and I left with all this wonderful stuff I didn't even know I needed. I guess it's a hardware trap. Thank you for coming in.
If you live in King County, you know that we love our beaches. But unfortunately, so do a lot of geese and waterfowl. Sometimes that means bacteria. Well, don't worry, the county's environmental lab is keeping an eye on water quality.
Matthews Beach is a popular spot in the summertime for Seattleites as well as our feathered friends. Unfortunately, bacteria can sometimes reach unhealthy levels related to inputs from waterfowl. To put it simply, geese create a lot of poop, which is why our lab keeps a vigilant eye on this beach and many others across the county. Let's check in with Michael back at the lab, who's testing for bacteria.
Today we got some samples in that Estella and Melanie are going to process for E. coli. E. coli is a very common bacteria. It's a normal part of the gut microflora of animals, humans included. Although E. coli can make people sick, not all E. coli does, but its presence indicates that there is poop in the water, and that fecal material could contain other pathogens that are harmful to human health. Results that we produce here at the lab help public health determine when beaches should be open or closed. Microbial source tracking helps us determine where the bacteria in our water column has come from. It's human, ruminant, dog, and we are working to develop a goose biomarker that will help us determine when the high counts are from geese. The robustness of our tests, the high quality data we produce, makes me feel confident about swimming in the water around here.
The city of Shoreline is the largest city in King County, contracting with the Sheriff's Department for police services. In Shoreline, community is everything.
My name is Kelly Park, and I'm the Chief of Police for the City of Shoreline. We're the 22nd largest city in the state of Washington, and we are the largest contract city for King County Sheriff's Office. Shoreline has 50 commissioned officers. We have 3 fantastic support non-commissioned staff as well. We have 2 embedded mental health professionals here in Shoreline. These crisis responders do everything from responding to acute crisis with us to following up as needed, connecting people with resources, and finding answers to very unusual questions and problems. Something that's been extremely important for me is outreach. I don't want to hear everything that we're doing right. I want them to tell us what they need from their police department and how we can do better. This is a partnership. We cannot do our jobs without the support of our community. We want to partner in making this a safer place to live for everyone. We are committed to doing everything we can to make this an anti-racist community. All of the leadership team, with the City Council, myself included, have been working very, very hard to educate ourselves, bringing in outside entities to open our minds, talk about tough things like bias, racism, and what that actually means, and how we can do better for our community and the people that we serve as a whole. I think the most important part of my role as chief here in Shoreline is to make sure that my officers feel supported, make sure that they feel safe, that they're healthy, and that they can go out there and serve the community in the best way possible. This is a community of love and outreach. They are willing to partner with their police department to solve long-term problems, and they have always been extremely supportive of their police department.
If you live in unincorporated King County, we want your feedback. Councilmember Sarah Perry explains a comprehensive plan. It will guide development in the county for the next decade.
Hi, I'm Sarah Perry, King County Council member representing District 3, which includes the northeasternmost portion of King County. I join my council colleagues in representing all of King County as I have the honor of leading this year's Comprehensive Plan update. The Comprehensive Plan is updated once a decade and provides an opportunity to reshape how we plan for a healthy future for all together. In 2024, we'll consider policies including identifying the best locations to build homes, offices, and stores in our communities. Also ensuring that we protect our agricultural lands as well as forests, and maintaining access to clean water, clean air, and a healthy environment for all. To ensure that King County is a welcoming community where every person can thrive, the 2024 update will also focus on equity, affordable housing, and climate change policies. More details about the schedule and topics of the update can be found on the King County website. As we start this important work, it's important that we hear from you about your priorities. So stay tuned for more information to come as we host a series of 5 in-person town halls and join us in creating a plan for a prosperous King County for all. And remember, the comprehensive plan doesn't have to be complicated. Looking forward to seeing you.
Well, thanks for joining us at King County at your service. Check us out online at kingcounty.gov/KCTV. I'm Arlecier West. We'll see you next time. That's why activities at the toll gate forum. Can we space them a little bit more? I'm Arlecier West. Who am I? Goodness gracious. I forgot to smile. I just smirked.